The thing is, nobody would ever dare to touch that sound of pop, and she did, and she did, and she made it sound okay, you know. Oh my god, I think that was a peak for that sound of pop music, if I'm being honest. Welcome back to motherfucking channel. Today I'm going to be ranking Lady Gaga's albums. Just because I've been wanting to do this. I was just facing that way like I was doing a reaction video, but I'm not. I'm ranking her albums, and I'm really excited about this. I just did it for Britney Spears. I'm done with Britney Spears' career, so I felt like I had, you know, the views of ranking her albums in my personal taste, best to like, or my favorite to least favorite. And I've been wanting to do this with Lady Gaga, and I feel like now is the perfect time. This is going to be my personal opinion, what I like, what my favorite is. I want to know your personal opinion. What is if you could rank Lady Gaga's 4 albums, and I'll explain why there's only 4 albums here. What would your ranking be? Let me know in the comments. Let's get into this. Lady Gaga started her career off powerful, and it just got powerfuler, you know, as the years gone by. And she's grown so much as an artist, and I honestly feel like, I almost said Katy Perry. I honestly feel like Lady Gaga is, she truly is one of the leaders of pop music for the early 2000s, late 2000s, early 2010s, late 2000s era of pop music, and even into the, and she still is felt to this day. She's still, but we're going to talk about that. So let's get into this. Before I start, please like and subscribe. Let's go. Like I said, I'm gonna break these down into 4 albums because the Fame and the Fame Monster, some people argue that they are kind of honestly 2 different albums, but if you just put the Fame Monster is the Fame. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. So I just put it so I didn't, you guys understand. But let's start off with number 4. I'm doing her main albums. I'm not doing A Star Is Born, and I'm not doing the Jazz album. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing her main pop girl album. So let's talk about it. I also heard that Lady Gaga is dropping her music this year. Bitch, is she coming to save pop? There's so many people coming to save pop. Lady Gaga, Madonna, Rihanna, Britney Spears. Like, please, we need you guys. Okay, starting off with number 4 is art pop. Okay, this definitely was an era for the books, to say the least. And I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, you picked art pop? Like that's your like number 4. You're starting off with art pop," and I understand. I do want to make this clear: Lady Gaga does not have one bad album whatsoever, but art pop was definitely an acquired taste, and I don't think I have that taste. I think that style of pop music was way ahead of its time, and it still is ahead of its time. I don't have that acquired taste, I guess, because I just think that was my least memorable Lady Gaga album. The thing is, nobody would ever dare to touch that sound of pop, and she did, and she did, and she made it sound okay, you know. But like I said, that sound of pop music is just so ahead of its time. But yeah, I know that's like some people's favorite, you know, on this whole, like, all of her albums, art pop might be your favorite, but I don't know. I just love, and I also love how experimental she was about it. That's what really, like, if it wasn't due to the fact that it was very experimental, I would honestly say it's a bad album, but it's not a bad album. Like I said, she doesn't have a bad album. Number 3 is Joanne. Okay, this was a mix of like sounds. It was a mix of the old Lady Gaga, but like with a sprinkle of new Lady Gaga, and it sounded so fresh and it sounded so like, I honestly think it sounded underrated, and it was a perfect fit for that era of music. What was it, 2016, 2017-ish feel. I really feel like it was a perfect time for that album. But with John Wayne and Dancing in Circles, like, that's what I'm saying. I felt that old Gaga there, but with like I said, a glimpse of that new Gaga, and we can't ask for anything better than that. But I do think, no matter what you think about Lady Gaga, and no matter what you think about this Joanne album, this album really turned the general public's eye. Like, it opened their eyes for Gaga. I feel like, she always got bullshit from a lot of different people for a lot of different just dumb shit because of her personality and just like how she dressed and all this other stuff. And I think that was bullshit. I think it was so innovative. I really loved that Gaga, but she stripped down all that stuff and gave us a raw album, and I respect that, and I absolutely love that. But yeah, it's number 3 for me, honestly. Number 2 on this list, and I mean, giving away number 2, but clearly give away number 1, is The Fame Monster. This and Born This Way, it was so hard for me. It was so fucking hard for me to pick between these 2 albums, just because they're both so like iconic to pop music, I feel like. But let's talk about The Fame Monster. There were so many catchy melodies and so many catchy beats. This was the era I discovered Gaga. I mean, it was her first era. I just remember like going home from school and on the radio was Lady Gaga playing, and I would be bopping to it. She was that girl. It was a different sound for music, and she led that way. And that's the thing. That's really the reason a lot of people were like, I don't know about this, is because it was a new sound. It was, honestly, and I've said this before, that sound of pop music was kind of cringy. But only if you didn't know how to master that sound. Lady Gaga was one of the only people that could master that sound. Her and Britney Spears. I mean, that to me, that's T. There is nobody else that could sound like okay over these like crazy electric techno pop beats. And I don't know, I just love that. I love the where pop music was going, but I don't like where it went, like 2013 to like 2016. And I'm not talking about just Lady Gaga. I'm talking about pop music as a whole. I do not like where it went, and I really don't like where it's going. Well, actually, right now it sounds pretty good. I like the way it's sounding, and I hope Lady Gaga can come out with something that's like, come on, girl, we're ready. We are ready. But like I said, Lady Gaga mastered this wave of sound. And with songs like Bad Romance, what else? Bad Romance, Dance in the Dark, Poker Face, Just Dance. There's so many iconic songs from that album. The era, so many iconic things. Let's keep going. Okay, number 1, Born This Way. You guys, like I said, this is my opinion. This was, it's my personal taste. Like I said, let me know what your personal taste is. Born This Way, I just think that album was so powerful. I think the era was so powerful, with like crazy songs like Bloody Mary, Judas, Electric Chapel, Born This Way. Like, there's so many like electrifying songs on that album. Hair, literally, I think Hair might be my favorite Lady Gaga ballad for sure. It just, oh my god. I think that was a peak for that sound of pop music, if I'm being honest, was definitely Born This Way. I mean, that's just my opinion. It's my opinion. Hair was such an amazing song, an amazing sound, an amazing reason that she made that song. I don't know. I could literally talk about this album literally all day. And if we're being honest, this is one of the few pop albums that have come out in the last century that you can listen all the way through and not skip one song. And that's saying a lot, because there's a lot of pop albums that have come out in this last century, but not a lot of them, you know, like I just said, like, can actually do that. But like Shiza, Bloody Mary, like, bitch, so experimental, but like in a fantastic, like the best way possible. Like, she literally conquered this sound. Like, she embodied what it was to be a pop star in 2010 and 2011, like that, you know. Like, oh my god, I could literally talk about Born This Way all day. And like, no matter what you think about Lady Gaga and no matter your stance on her, she led the girls in 2011, 2010. She was a main pop bitch in 2011, 2010, 2000, and like 2013. But I feel like with Joanne, it wasn't pop anymore. I don't know. I don't know what category to honestly put that under. I guess it was pop, but at the same time, I don't know. I just really don't know what category to put that under. But she definitely had her fucking eras, and they were all iconic. Let me know what your favorite era was. Let me know your views on mine, because I've said my views before on Lady Gaga's albums, and it kind of triggered some people, because I mean, I know, I understand, but it's my taste. I want to know your guys's. I guess that's it though. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm gonna do what my favorite Lady Gaga songs are, top 10. Come back for that, because I want to know what your guys' favorite songs are too. And I really can't wait to, you know, see what she has cooking up this year for us, like singles. The Cure really like needs to be talked about, and I will talk about that in my favorite Lady Gaga songs, and that just gave away a lot, but I'm going to talk about that song. But I guess that's it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Bye, motherfuckers.